Hello. Do you even remember that you subscribed to this channel? Probably not. Welcome back. I'm back. Welcome back to me. Welcome back to you. Or welcome if this so happens to be the first video that you click on my channel. It has been a long time since I've posted, and as we get into this video you will see why. I do briefly explain what has happened, what's gone on, why it's taken so long for me to vlog again. But basically I thought that my camera was broken for a long time. Between that and losing a bit of inspiration along the way, just in terms of feeling like everything is the same, nothing is changing, people aren't going to want to see things, even though I know that I consistently want to follow people week in, week out that do very much the same thing. It is different when it's yourself and you are holding yourself to different standards. So that, paired with what I thought was a broken camera for a long time that wasn't actually broken, meant that it's been well over a month since I've picked up the camera and vlogged and updated. And as you will see as well in some of the clips, I do refer back to like, oh, when I had the camera up last I was talking about this or that. I had the makings of a vlog probably surely it's not 5 weeks ago now. It probably is 5 weeks ago now, because I think I started the vlog in July and it's now the 1st of September. Where I was taking you through some things that I was trying to change in my routine. I was starting to journal in the mornings, give myself more time to just really slow down, relax, so I'm not stressing out my body from the get-go, from the very second I wake up until I finish work, and kind of taking you guys through that and what that looked like for me. But then I just ended up, I think I just lost my steam with that one and felt like, oh, there isn't really enough in here to make a full video on. Then came Birmingham, when I was supposed to record the Posing Portal event that I went to, and like, solo travel with me on prep, how do I do it? Come along. And as you will then see from the clips that are going to follow, my camera broke. So that was then another couple of weeks of a hiatus for me. So here we are. As I film this intro and outro and wrap up, it is, as I said, the 1st of September, which means show number 1 is this month. Hopefully, all going well. Projected show number 1 is this month, which is just crazy. Like, it is becoming so evident to me now that even the very end of my season is in sight now. And like, looking at my protocols and the calories that I'm on right now and the cardio that I'm on, I'm like, oh, I'm actually like in prep. I'm in the depths of prep now. This has actually happened and I've just blinked and it's happened. So, I mean, that's a good sign that it hasn't felt like I've been doing this for my whole life or the whole year or forever and it's never going to end. It's actually flown in. It's mind-blowing. Like, I'm sitting here today at 4 weeks out, and I said to Nick, I was like, is there anything that I need to start getting? Like, do I need to start getting prepared for my shows? Because obviously as a first timer last year, I was so over prepared and everything that I had to do was for the first time. So all of the orders I was making, whether it was for skin prep, whether it was for like backstage accessories. Actually, that's one thing that I need to get. There we go. I've just remembered. I need to get resistance bands for pumping up. And I want to get a new mirror as well for backstage. So here we go. I'm glad I had this conversation with myself. Yeah, I just feel like I would have had like benchmarks and timestamps of at 4 weeks out I'm going to have this, at 3 weeks out, at 2 weeks out, at a week out. I need to have all of it ready. And because I have no spare seconds in the day, I'm like, what am I missing here? But I have I have a robe, I have my shoes, I have 3 pairs of shoes, I will have my bikinis, I have a spare bikini if I need it from last year, I have black clothes, I have dark sheets, I have sliders, I have a shower cap, I still have my skin stuff from last year. I have the tan if I need it. Did I say that? I have the Pro Tan kit from Nick. Getting my makeup done. I'm gonna go to MAC, I think, and get a sample of the Studio Fix foundation, which is the one that Danielle uses, because my friend Emily is doing my makeup for my first show, as we know. So that would probably help her so she doesn't have to bring any. But I'm just gonna write down resistance bands for pumping, because I bought the wrong ones last year. I bought just the loop bands, and you kind of need the long ones with the handles. There was another thing that I said that I'm now going to have to look back on this clip. Apart from the foundation. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I have the resistance bands. It was a mirror. There we go. So glad we're on this journey together, and this is just the intro of the video. My camera just fell over. I was yapping that much. All of that is to say that it has absolutely flown in, and I am in denial with how soon it's going to be before this entire process is over. So I want to bring this back around, bring the vlogs back, take you guys along with me for, as I say, some of the most exciting and progressive weeks of prep. So let's dive into the clips that I have recorded from this week. These are actually from this week. I have decided I'm going to scrap the ones that are from the past couple of months into 6 weeks and just pick back up from this week. So what you are going to see is from 5 to 4 weeks out. I obviously chat about where I've been and the camera situation, and then I take you through a full day of eating on a training day, which was last week. It's now Monday, so it's just the week just gone before my food got changed again, and just a few random catch-ups as well on how I'm feeling, because this weekend was a little bit of a ropey one for me. So let's dive into that now, and then I will come back in the same place probably and do a little bit more in depth of a current update, because I will say in this video 75 times I'll update you on where I'm at, and then a few days pass. So let's officially update you on where I am at as of today, Monday. I'll see you in a while. Hey, how y'all doing? When I sit down to edit this video together, I might actually decide to just completely re-film an intro and scrap everything that has come before this, because this vlog is now, what, nearly 2 months long? Nearly 2 months in the making. This is me on the 26th of August, just shy of 5 weeks out. Like less than 5 weeks out from my first show, finally picking this back up. We have had some moments, some meltdowns, some experiences. Basically, I had the camera with me at the airport, parked up at the terminal, and I was just about to turn the camera on to be like, hey, I'm at the airport, made it in time, it was a good drive, got parking, I'm gonna go in now, I only have like an hour before my gate closes, will I make it, will I get a coffee, stay tuned. And my camera wouldn't turn on, so I left you guys in the car in a safe spot. I was like, I'm gonna have to figure this out when I get home, and did some research on it, and I thought that my battery had completely and utterly died, because apparently if you don't turn on your DJI for a couple of weeks, the battery dies, which makes no sense to me. But yeah, you guys were not having any of it. You were not turning on, you were not charging. It was not looking good. So I finally got around to bringing it in to be looked at in Harvey Norman last week, and they were like, it's fine. They got it turned on. It's now working. I'm just making sure from now on that I turn it on every few days if I'm not vlogging. So I'm back for potentially the most interesting and exciting parts of prep, hopefully. There are obviously going to be a lot of updates, a lot of changes happening, and a lot of updates and changes and moves have happened since I updated you guys last. I'm not even going to attempt she's working. I'm not even going to attempt to summarize the changes right now, because it is going to depend heavily on what clips I've managed to recover and think are worth sharing from the last month of recordings. There are very few recordings. Most of them were taken in one day, where I was going through it a little bit. I had a little bit of a wobble mid-prep, I would say, probably before mid-prep, to be fair. A little bit of a mindset kind of funk, and how I was planning to get through that. Then picked you guys up right before Birmingham, which didn't get documented, but I will catch you guys up on how that was, what I took away from that event, and I will update you on what the protocols are at the moment, how we're looking, how we're feeling, where things are at. And I do have a check-in tomorrow as well, so that one is potentially going to have more changes to food, which is needed but never wanted. But yes, I promise I will pick you guys up later, and I will continue this through this week. I'm actually going to my first PCA show of the season at the weekend to go and support Erin from the gym in her first wellness competition. I'm so excited. Derry is a really nice venue. Derry is a nice venue, but the venue they do PCA in Derry is a lovely venue. It's always a really nice atmosphere. I'm excited to be a spectator again, and just to get myself back in the like show day state of mind and atmosphere. I'm really excited, and I cannot wait to see her shine. She is going to do so amazingly well. Like, she is incredible, and I can't wait to see her have a ball and cheer her on. So that'll be lovely. And I'm going to stay for Bikini obviously as well, just to see who's doing what, who takes home the wins, the overall. And yeah, just fully immerse myself in it again, because obviously I am not doing PCA this year, but it will still be really nice to see the standard and what's going on, especially as we look towards the end of the year. MPCA have announced that they are now also doing fit model, but their definition of fit model seems quite different to what it is for MPC. So I'm very interested to keep my eyes on that, because I feel like if I do decide to dip my toes back in PCA in the future, could she do fit model? Could she do it? I think she could. If I never have to do that lat flare, lat spread pose again in my life, I will be happy. So stay tuned. But yes, that is the only major thing on the agenda for this week. Just working away, training away, cardioing away, stepping my life away on the Stairmaster, and going to bed super early, waking up super early, and actually really enjoying it. So yes, I will pick you guys back up later on, between tomorrow and the weekend, and we will fully cover what's been going on, where I've been, where I am, and take you along to Derry as well. Okay, so really quickly, let's do a little bit of a whistle stop catch up, and I am going to keep this quick because I'm sure you can hear I am stomping away on the walking pad, and I'm conscious that it's going to be very distracting for you guys. But I just thought before my check-in tomorrow, where there is going to be changes, I would bring you up to speed really quickly, really basically, really briefly. Not go into super heavy detail. We can do that tomorrow after I check in, and I can share visuals of what I'm looking like at the moment. But I do want to bridge that gap between when I last picked up the camera and now, just so you know kind of where we have gotten to before tomorrow. So it's not like the last clip you've seen, I was doing 45 minutes of cardio and I was on so many calories, and then tomorrow all of a sudden it's this big huge drop. It has been more gradual, so I will catch you up on that. I think where I left off, I was doing 45 minutes of cardio every day, and I have my phone here, so I'm gonna pull that up while I'm chatting. That stayed the same for a long time, so my output stayed the same for like, I want to say a good 5 weeks. I'm literally squinting I need my glasses. I'm actually gonna have to grab my glasses. I'm gonna jump off this walking pad, hope I don't fall, grab my glasses and go again. I can actually see. That's actually embarrassing. I'm getting emails, I'm getting letters, I'm getting texts from Specsavers telling me to book in, but we have preps to pay for. We have 2 bikinis to pay for. We won't be paying for glasses. 4 weeks, excuse me. So I was on 7x45 for 4 weeks straight before we made any changes. In that time, my hemoglobin did go up. So my fat loss, my fat burner, my natural fat burner went up from 10 milligrams to 15 to 20. So 2 weeks ago we bumped it up to 20 just because it was I could only get multiples of 10. So had to be done. And that transition was absolutely fine. Whereas last year, when I got to 15 milligrams of yohimbine, I was feeling so sick, so unwell. I literally have videos of myself like keeling over while I was trying to pose after taking it. So it has been a lot easier for me this year, thank God. That is where yohimbine is at, 20 milligrams a day. But now we are on, officially as of yesterday, 7 by 60 minutes cardio. So I was on 50 minutes on a training day and 60 on rest days up until yesterday, but we changed that in the check-in. So every day now I have an hour of cardio. I started doing split sessions on my training days, especially on the days where I'm working. So the weekend I might get it all done in one go, I'm not sure, but during the week I have to split them up. So I tend to do 40-45 minutes in the morning post-workout, and then on my lunch break I'll finish what's left. So either the bike here, or if I need steps, I'll walk to the gym and I'll go on the stairs for the rest of the time as well. So that is output. Steps are 12k, but again I average a lot more than that, especially with being in the office. So those days take me up from anywhere from 14 to 16k, and then my work from home days I'm like, yeah, okay, we're scraping the 12,000 steps unless we have any mad plans. So that is output. In terms of food, I can't remember the exact last time I picked up the camera apart from going to Birmingham, but I didn't touch on any foods or metrics at that stage. If I go back around when I got my plan changed to 45 minutes of cardio, let's say when I last saw you guys I was on just over 1600 calories on a training day and just over 1600 calories on a rest day as well. So I was on 1630 training days and 1610 on rest days, and that has gradually come down to, again, this is a relatively new figure as of probably either last Wednesday or last Saturday. Training days 1400, rest days 1300, and that is going to move tomorrow. So I hope that was relatively easy to follow along. I did also have a lovely weekend of high days last weekend for Nick's birthday. It worked out really well in terms of timing. I flew home from Birmingham to a new low weigh-in, which was stunning, and then as the week progressed I ended up dropping again and got a 2-day refeed. It was beautiful, it was so nice. It was nothing extreme at all, but it was so welcomed and so unexpected as well. And yeah, we maintained a nice low weight since then. But I will touch on weigh-ins, where we're at, how much I've dropped, how I'm looking different, and fill you in on the little bits and pieces in between as well tomorrow in a less chaotic setting. But I did want to keep the promise to myself that I would pick you guys up later and bring you up to speed a little bit quicker before we break down bit by bit, before we break things down a little bit more detailed tomorrow. So yeah, we're getting there. We're hungry. We're definitely hungry. I definitely notice it on the weekends now when I'm not as like go. This weekend just gone, I had time to just relax and rest and watch movies, and I was struggling so much. Like standing up, walking was tough. Whereas when I'm in my routine, when I'm in the office especially, I don't have a second to think, I just do, and it's a lot easier. So the key thing being, I said it before, I will say it again, you need to distract yourself as much as possible on prep, because otherwise you'll just be thinking that you're hungry all the time and you're tired. And yes, you are, but it's your choice. I will catch you guys tomorrow and update you on the check-in. Good morning. It is Friday, the 29th of August. I am officially 30 days out from my first show. So while I take you through the updates, I thought I would do a full day of eating on a training day. So I'm in for upper this morning. I have the goods. So we are still running intra-workout carbs. So I have 15 grams of carbs in here. I also have a small scoop of EAAs, so amino acids, and glutamine. I've already had some glutamine this morning with my electrolytes and my Digestmax, but I have a small bit more in here just to make sure that the digestion is digesting, which it wasn't yesterday, but it's fine. It's a new day today. So I'll just have this. I will drink this throughout my workout. Obviously it doesn't like fill me, but it does stop me from getting super starving during my session. But trust and believe that once I finish this upper session and probably about 40 minutes worth of my cardio, hopefully all gone well, I am ravenous for my post-workout meal, which will be my first meal of the day. So I will show you that when we're home. We are back. We are logged on to work and have actually done 45 minutes of work. Haven't even gotten a chance to get in the shower yet. Don't even look or talk to me. But it is time to eat meal number 1, which is my post-workout. This is actually the last day that I'm going to be eating this, because as I had this prepped, Mike sent me an update which I wasn't expecting. So I normally do my check-ins, full check-in on a Saturday. It's Friday today, and we just had a chat about how I was feeling, what my weight was like, and my schedule for the weekend, and he kind of sent over a preemptive changes. So anything that can be made today will be made today, but this meal was already down. This was locked in, this was ready to go. So we are eating it as is, which means I will be getting rid of rice completely, which is fine, and also pineapple. So the meal is here. I don't know if you can hear my belly rumbling, it's literally growling. We have 50 grams of rice, 75 green beans. There is a little bit of mixed veg in there because I had to top up my green beans. I have to get more. 125 chicken and 50 pineapple. There's actually just 40 pineapple in there, so I don't feel too bad since it's getting dropped. This is probably cold. This has been ready for probably 15 minutes now, so I am going to eat it and try and enjoy it, because I feel like today in work is going to be a little bit chaotic. So I'm just going to try and just do not disturb for 10 minutes while I eat, and then I will get back to everyone. So yeah, that is meal number 1 after having my intra-workout, which was 15 grams of carbs, and my other few bits of supplementation this morning as well. We're so back with the most exciting meal of the day. It's actually not that bad, it's just very depressing looking. We have chicken and green beans. 125 chicken, 75 green beans. I got more green beans, so it's pure green beans. I'll put a bit of salt on it. Sometimes I will do like 10 grams of sugar-free ketchup or the sweet chili sauce from Lidl, but at the moment I'm enjoying actually having nothing on it, because it's allowing me to like take my time and really enjoy the flavour of the chicken. I'm obsessed with my chicken this prep, and since the digestive issues at the kind of early point of prep, I've cut out a lot of different seasonings and I'm only using single ingredient seasonings, and all I'm doing is a tiny bit of soy sauce, paprika and garlic. And when I say like I inhale it. I don't know what's in it. It's like crack to me. So I do genuinely enjoy this meal. So it is now about 1:20. It's a little bit later than I would normally have this meal. It's a little bit later than I am intending on doing anything today because we're having meetings through lunch, unfortunately. Normally we finish at 1, but it's all a bit mad at the moment. So I would have loved to have been on my way to do cardio and finish that up for the day now, but I am going to eat this. I have another call and then I can go and tackle some cardio. 25 minutes left. I didn't get my 40 minutes done, unfortunately. I got 35 done. I want to do some posing as well. I really want to start doing more work on my stamina and my comparisons because I only really do my routine at the minute when I'm checking in and stuff like that. So I want to like put on a show or put on a posing cues, something or other. There's one on the Posing Portal app of comparisons and just go back to front, walk to the back, walk to the front, that kind of stuff, to really try and hammer that down because I do feel like conditioning is probably not there at the minute. So I'm going to eat this because it's probably cold. Again, it's been ready for minutes because I've been on the call. Head to the gym again for the second time, pick up a few bits in the shop and then come back for meal 3. Have I started every transition in this video or on this day so far with we're back? We are back. We are back from the gym, from cardio and posing. Like I said, I was very tempted when I looked at the clock and what time it was after I finished to sack off my posing and just come home and eat because I need to collect Nick from work in 2 hours and I have 2 meals to eat in that time. As well as I wanted to wash my hair. I have to pack my bags because I am staying at home. We're staying at home tonight, not here in the apartment. I had a few other bits that I thought I was going to get done. I'm doing a coaching giveaway on Instagram for a photo shoot prep and I wanted to record a video about that. But none of these things have happened. I also still have, let's see, just over 3,000 steps left. Not the worst. I can definitely get some in between my meals. But yeah, anyway, all of that is to say that I didn't skip the posing. I did it and I did the comparison and the stamina work and it was so humbling. I'm sweating so much. The core control, non-existent. Who is she? I was trying to hold my breath the entire time and not breathe in the poses, which is just ridiculous and I can't do that on stage. But obviously, like, I'm not quite there yet. I'm not quite tight through the midsection, so trying to hold it all in is what I do best. But anyway, literally just in the door. The grill is preheating now for meal number 3, which is going to be my eggs, my turkey rasher and berries. And yes, I said turkey rasher. Single. I did stop off in Tesco as well on the way home to get some berries and egg whites. That's all I got. That's my haul. I will do a haul, but that's literally my haul. Let's see if I can stand you up because I don't want to get the tripod connector. No, I can't. If I go far away, maybe. Straws. This is terrifying. Egg whites. Frozen raspberries for my creamy. So yes, let's get meal 3 on the go. It's literally 50 grams of egg whites, 2 eggs up until right now. Let me just double check that. I'll actually double check that right now because on a rest day I only have 1 egg now in this meal, so let me just double check. Yeah, 2 eggs, 50 egg whites, 1 turkey rasher, 50 strawberries down from 75 and 50 veg, so I do green beans. So we're gonna get that going and I will show you when it's plated up. One thing about me is that presentation is never going to be there, except for maybe on my oats on a good day. I will also never not ruin at least one of my eggs. But anyway, here we go. Here we have it. My lovely 50 grams of strawberries as well. And sorry, this camera has a mind of its own. 10 grams of sugar-free ketchup in there, as well as more water. I think that's going to be like my 5th liter today so far. Not much time at all has passed. I did move. I realise now that I'm checking in the same spot all the time. It's just because this is where the counter is. Not much time has passed. I do have about 1,000 more steps gotten, however. I did jump on the walking pad and got my few bits prepped and packed to take home. But as I said, I am on a little bit of a tight schedule. In fact, I'm going to be late. It is now 5:30, I think. Yeah, 5:28. Nick finishes work in half an hour. And it normally takes me about half an hour to eat this meal, which is normally my last meal of the day. So it feels very funny having it now. But the good news is I still have a lovely meal left as my last meal. I'm not leaving the worst for last at all by any means. But obviously I will be out of the apartment today, and as much as you do have to be prepared and you do have to take a lot of stuff with you when you're on prep, a Ninja Creamy doesn't necessarily have to be one of those things. So I am eating my creamy now. If I can just show you how big these bowls are compared to my head, this thing is full of ice cream. The volume that I get from this is ridiculous, and I don't use anything extra to get volume out of it. It's literally 40 grams of protein, 250 mils of almond milk, and a little bit of water, just a small bit to top it up. For the ice cream, I'm using cookies and cream whey, and it is genuinely like an Oreo milkshake. I'm obsessed with it. I have a fruit bowl, 35 grams of blueberries, strawberries and raspberries, and I put that in my creamy. And then I have 10 grams of dark chocolate and 10 grams of peanut butter and almond butter. I do 5 and 5 or whatever works out to add up to 10. So without further ado, since it's going to take me the half an hour to eat it, I'm going to enjoy it. But yeah, honestly, the creamy was hands down the best purchase that we've made. Nick isn't having them as much, but like if I have to go a day without it, I'm not the same person. I'm changed. Oh my god. So we are home now. Oh lovely, home now. Someone's more excited for the last meal than I am. As I said, the last meal is definitely not the worst, despite moving the creamy around, which, as much as I ranted and raved about the volume of it did not fill me for very long. And I also just watched Nick eat a pizza. But I didn't mind at all. I mean it. So last meal is oats. Again, we know that this is normally I say normally, it's actually not normally. It's very rarely my pre-workout meal. It is still labelled as my pre-workout meal, but we know normally I'm training fasted. So 50 grams of oats still in. 4 weeks out. We will take it. And yes, there is actually oats underneath all those berries. I have 80 grams of berries in this. Normally it would have been 50 up until today, where he dropped it down to 40, but I use some extra berries from my creamy allowance in here. So 80 grams of berries. Normally I would do a mix, but because I was traveling, I just brought the punnet of strawberries instead of bringing everything with me. And 10 grams of peanut butter, and obviously protein as well. I have carrot cake protein in this, so it's going to be amazing. I might put a tiny bit of cinnamon on it with peanut butter, with the carrot cake. It will be stunning. So that is a training day. Not fully adapted. The full changes will take place, I don't know, kick off from tomorrow, but I will update tomorrow after the check-in. Obviously the food won't change, but who knows what other things could change. the clothes horses in the background for me. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you're watching this. But it is the morning for me. It is Sunday morning. I have literally just woken up. And it is... Well, no, that's a lie. I've literally just gotten up out of bed. And it is 7:45 in the morning. And I haven't done anything. I've just made my coffee, made my supplements, and sat down here for a quick check-in. This is not what a Sunday morning normally looks like. We need to catch up a little bit on yesterday and the plan for today, because the plan for today is I'm just going to rot away peacefully and prepare myself for another week. So I mentioned during the week that today is obviously the PCA show in Derry for Erin, and I was so excited to go. I'm so excited for her first show day, and from what I can see, like, she is so happy and so ready, and I'm delighted for her and I can't wait to see. But this Erin has actually been banned from going. I got banned from PCA is the title of the video. Mike has said, you are not going, basically, because we had a little bit of our first prep mental breakdowns yesterday. And I'm kind of okay with having gotten this far and not having like a proper just moment where I just like burst out into tears and just needed to sleep then, which was what happened yesterday. So the long and short of it is I just had a little bit of a chaotic day yesterday planned, and my calendar was stressing me out, and the thoughts of having to be here, there, back here, out there, here at certain times was just a little bit much for me, and tiny things ended up setting me over the edge, and I just gave into it. I gave into the emotions. I had a cry. I had a lie down pre-training, which turned into a nap, which meant I couldn't get to the first thing that I had planned that day, which was collecting some supplements for Nick. And yeah, I just texted Mike and I was like, look, this is what's gone on. I don't know whether I even should go to Derry tomorrow. And he was like, I'm going to take the thinking out of your hands now. At this point, you are not going. If you go, you'll have to do, I think he said 150 minutes of cardio. So that was me told. But I really did appreciate his approach here, where he was like, I'm taking the thinking out of it. You're not hemming and hawing, you're not weighing this up, you're not deciding on the day, you're not going. Basically, at this point where I'm at, which is literally 4 weeks today from my first show, I need to be a little bit more selfish than I have been being, because I have actually felt quite good in the last couple of weeks where I've been able to go and do things. I've been able to be a lot more present with the people around me, with Nick, with my friends in work, and I think that's going to have to start to take a hit now, and I'm going to have to start to be really selfish, because there is so much that you have to do in a prep in a day. There is so much that your energy has to be spent on before that you can even consider spending it on other things and other people, which sounds horrible, but it is the truth, especially towards the end. So a full-on rest day is in for today, because I was going to rest to allow me to travel today. So all that I have to do is my cardio, 60 minutes cardio, my steps, 12,000 steps, and I do also want to do some posing, more stamina work again, although another reason why we're kind of pulling back a little bit is I have started to get a little bit of a spicy knee. I don't know if I mentioned this in any of my clips during the week, and also my lower back from the posing stamina work I did the other day. I think I pulled it really badly, so I'm going to see how we go. I do need to do it. It is very important, and that was made very clear to me the other day when I tried to do it and I was sweating. It is warm, I will say that as well. But yes, this morning when I'm doing my cardio, when I'm in for my cardio, I'll probably go, I might go before, to be honest, and do my posing, so I'm not a big sweaty mess, and I won't be holding on to all the water that I drink when I do my cardio as well. I'll do that, even 10 minutes try and get a check-in in there for Hannah as well. And then once the cardio is done, I just need to make sure I get my steps throughout the day. I want to do a food shop nice and early as well today to make sure that we're not in and out of the house, and just try and just relax. I wanted to do a duvet evening yesterday where I pulled a duvet out to the couch here and watched movies and stuff. And we got about half an hour of that done before we had to go to bed, so we might get a little bit more time to do that today. But yes, in terms of the update, this will be an interesting day for me because I always feel like I want a day like this, but I end up like getting itchy feet and not being able to sit down for too long. So we'll see how we go. But I will do a roundup of this week of where we're at. I know I've said that phrase so many times. I need to find a new one. But weight. Really quickly actually on weight. I had a really bad day yesterday with my digestion because of the stress that I was feeling. Like really bad. Very, very uncomfortable. I felt quite sick. And nothing was moving through the system, as tends to happen sometimes with me, we know. But actually I've woken up with the lowest weight of prep so far. It's probably the sleeping until 7 a.m. that did that, but I am very happy with that. But I will pick up everything else later on today just to round off this video because I know it has been very chaotic. I've been trying to I'd be like, I'll catch you guys up on what's been happening, and then I've had 2 check-ins since then. So we'll try and loop it all together and tie somewhat of a nice bow on it later on today. But I'm going to enjoy my coffee. I'm going to take my supplements because the Digest Max will have separated so badly by now. Get some water in and go and do my cardio because I don't want to waste the full day putting it off. Don't ever do that. If you are procrastinating cardio, training, anything right now, go and do it. So we're back. As if I actually just said we're back again after calling myself out in my full day of eating video for saying we're back. But you have joined me in this spot again. It is Monday, Erin, once more, to finally sit down and do a little bit of a wrap up of my current status. Trying not to say where we're at, where things are at, but it's hard not to. This is like when I say I'm excited and I can't think of any other word for excited. It's kind of the same thing. I'm very, very sorry. I swear I am actually quite an intelligent person, but prep does start to take that away from me, unfortunately. So yes, as I said, it is Monday, so that means that I did check in today. It is officially 27 days until the first projected show. I say projected because I still don't really believe it. It's very scary to me. Definitely battling with the fear of not being ready, which I do know I've said a lot, and I feel like I do fear that it comes across that I am being quite negative. But what you actually haven't seen, and I did touch on it in one of the clips throughout this vlog, is I have been really, really enjoying the prep, and I have just been, again, as I said in the intro, I've just been getting shit done and putting my head down so much that it has just flown by, and I haven't thought about it. I haven't thought about how low my calories are now, because I'm going to be honest with you, as of this week they are low, and as of the drop that was being made earlier in this video, they are low. But I haven't really thought about it. So for the most part, unfortunately, the parts that you missed were actually like the more positive days and weeks and the most productive. Not to say that anything is different. I'm still following the plan just the exact same, but in terms of, I suppose, the changes that I was making physically and how happy I was with them versus how things have been in the past couple of days, they were a lot more positive and happy-go-lucky and relaxed. But this is the nature of the game. Things are going to be up and down, and right now I'm in a little bit of a down, but that is not to say that this isn't going to get better and this is forever, because I do still have time to dig. I don't like the phrase dig, but to dig a little bit deeper and bring what I can possibly bring, and then decide if it's good enough to put on stage for this first show or not. I checked in this morning My weight was actually up on yesterday's weight, which was my prep low for this year, which yesterday I weighed in at 48 kilos on the dot, which was amazing. I was really happy with it, as I said, considering the digestion situation that I had been dealing with since Friday. And the reason why the weight was up this morning, I was not surprised at all, as much as I was a little bit like, oh, it's annoying. I wasn't surprised at all. It has literally been since Friday, it is a Monday, since I was able to use the toilet properly. So, and this, from here on in, guys, you're probably going to get a little bit more of this information, and if that is a problem, I'm very sorry, but I wish that there was somebody last year for me that would talk about this side of prep, because again, I've touched on it in so many of my videos before. I went through the ringer. It was after prep, it wasn't during prep, but it was after prep. But regardless, I just think, as much as this is a very awkward subject to talk about, like bowel movements, digestion, going to the toilet, it's so fucking important, and it's so soul destroying when things aren't working correctly, and that is how we have been feeling the past 3 days. So yeah, I was up 0.5 kilo this morning on the scale, which was not surprising at all. My tummy was distended. It was so uncomfortable. Just was not happy. I couldn't even like properly smile in my check-in because it just felt so upset. And I would say, hand on heart, that this morning was the hardest morning / day of either of my preps, 100%. Unless I'm just completely blocking something out of my brain from last year, but I don't think I am. This morning was hard. If you saw me on the Stairmaster watching my check-in, no you didn't, and it's a good job because nobody actually did. I may or may not have shed my first Stairmaster / cardio tears, but it's okay. They were only tiny, they were only fleeting, and I am feeling better. Nick was amazing. Nick was home this morning and I was working from home, so he was looking after me and making sure that I don't forget that I can do this no matter what. So yes, we are feeling a little better this evening, and I'm actually about to go into 3 rest days in a row because there is a lot going on in work at the moment, which I did mention again during the week, in terms of just things being a bit chaotic even on my full day of eating with my meal timings. This week is crazy. We've had a few new clients sign on to the agency, which is great for the agency. It's not so great for Erin and prep. There's a lot going on, and a lot of like big productions and advertising campaigns that are going to be happening all the way through my season, which is scary, but I just show up, I just do what I have to do, and then I go home and start the days again. So yes, I'm going into 3 rest days now in a row from tomorrow, which I actually think will be good in a way. As I said yesterday, my body is feeling a little bit broken, and actually since I took the rest day yesterday, I feel a little bit fresher in terms of like my knee wasn't really at me too much today, my back wasn't at me today, as it was really bad all through yesterday before I went to bed. So I can imagine after 3 days rest, still doing my cardio, still doing really high steps because I will be in the office, I do think this will be a really interesting week in terms of progress, and my body could actually freshen up quite a bit. So I am ready for it. I am excited for it, because at the end of the day, like, the chances of me making any real progressions in my physique with my training right now is slim. So I don't feel too scared to give up. Normally I will do 2 days in a row of a rest anyway when I'm in the office, so it's just an extra day off. And the training days, training frequency hasn't changed at all. I'm still going to get 4 days in this week, so I am looking forward to it. And with a rest day also does come a little bit less food. Now, very minimal difference now since the last change in my food. I think there's not even 50 calories in the difference between my training and rest days. And for transparency, they are, off the top of my head, I think I'm on, please don't copy me, please don't copy me. I do believe that anybody who's watching this is a follower of mine and knows, like, this is for prep and what this is for, and not to try this. I think I'm on about 1250 calories on training days at the minute, and 1220, 1230 on rest days. So yeah, there's not that much in the difference now, but there is still slightly less, and slightly less carbs on a rest day. In fact, I now have 35 grams of cream of rice instead of 50, which I had for the first time yesterday, and it didn't go down too badly because of the amount of volume of shit that was in my stomach. Literally and figuratively, the amount of waste that was in my stomach. But tomorrow will be the first kind of like real test of how hungry I might be feeling on a rest day. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm open to this challenge, and I am really hopeful that come Friday when it's time to train again, and come Saturday when it's time to do my third check-in of the week, that things will be in a much better place. So yeah, I'm 48.5 at the moment, but I think hopefully I should be down again tomorrow. Things have started to ease off ever so slightly, thank God, as the day has progressed. I'm still eating all of my meals. I'm not punishing myself for this. There is nothing that I can do. Just keep doing what I'm doing, and I'm not going to overcompensate on my steps or anything like that across my rest days either, because I am doing enough. In fact, we might be pulling back, but that is to be confirmed tomorrow probably with Mike. So I am not checking in every day. I'm not taking pictures every day, but we are now touching base every day. He just has a little like WhatsApp message that I fill in the morning in terms of weight, how I slept, how I'm feeling, what the plan is for the day, all that kind of stuff, just for that extra bit of accountability and to make sure that we are both across everything. We will see if he decides tomorrow. We're running tomorrow as normal, that's for sure. So 60 minutes of cardio in the morning before my commute. And then we will see what happens for Wednesday. But I'll be checking in again properly there as well. So yeah, 48.5 today. Hoping for that to come back down to closer to the 48 on the button again. I am going to share... I will share a couple of check-in images here. I was going to say I won't share my pictures today, but I will, because this is the reality of it. You will see that my midsection is very thick. There is a little bit of kind of bunching around my back as well, all related to the midsection. So this would have been today, somewhere around here. My back pose, my back shot, I'm not too unhappy with. I do definitely feel like the improvements have been made from last year, and I am really excited. And actually on that point, I did my check-in for Hannah yesterday, and I got my feedback yesterday, and I've been told that I might actually need to reduce the flare in my upper body in my front pose. Reduce the size of my upper body. Reduce the size of my upper body in my posing. What? Can we take a minute? That is huge. That is a huge compliment. That's a huge pat on the back to myself and Mike for the short off season that we had, that we might actually need to tone down my upper body and my back in my pose. I just still can't get over that. I will also try and overlay that clip here so you can see how we're looking. So this would have been yesterday. This was fasted pre-cardio, so you can kind of see the little bit of difference between yesterday and today in terms of my midsection, my stomach, and how kind of thick I was looking. But even still, bearing in mind yesterday I still had, like, yesterday was Sunday, I hadn't gone to the toilet Saturday or Sunday, so just bear that in mind. This is what we're looking like. This is how we're moving, this is how we're posing, this is how we are weighing, and this is how we're eating. So yeah, you guys pretty much are all caught up now. We are in the 1200 calorie marks. We are doing 60 minutes of cardio every day. We have been doing that for the past week at least. We are still doing 12,000 steps, averaging over that on my office days. I have steps to catch up on today. I'm going to go on the walking pad because, in case you can't tell from the changing brightness, it is getting very dark and rainy here. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Just really trying to calm myself down, I suppose, the last few days just with all of this, because again, obviously if you are worrying about it and you're stressing about it, you're not going to be doing yourself any favors. But it is really, really hard when you're doing everything and there's just this one part of your body that just is not playing well. And that for me this year is my midsection and my lower midsection in particular, and just that whole kind of gastrointestinal area, if you want to get technical and scientific about it. But as I said, yes, while it does seem that I have been kind of giving out a little bit in this video and saying, oh, I've been dealing with this or I've been dealing with that, A, it is the reality of it, but also B, you don't see, I can't be whipping out my camera in work when I am having good days. And actually the days where I go into the office, as much as I dread them, are probably the best days for me because they're the easiest days to manage. I know that I'm going to be busy. I know my mind's going to be occupied. I'm not sitting at home. Today again was an exception because we're fucking mental in work, but I'm not sitting at home looking at these four walls and thinking, oh my god, I'd love to just go to the shop and get a snack or get another Monster or do something that isn't going to serve me well. The days where I am in work, everything is so scheduled to within the minute that they do really actually help me feel like I am very much in control and on top of my shit. And to be fair, the guys in work are all really nice. They are all very invested in this process for me, really interested, ask me questions, ask me how I'm getting on and stuff. So I do kind of like having a different cohort of people along on the journey with me as well. It's quite interesting, although they do like try to give me sympathy and be like, oh, you poor thing, this, that and the other, and I'm like, don't you dare, because this is my choice, remember that. And it's a reminder to myself. Anyway, I don't know how we got here. I need to wrap this up because the light is fading. I have 1,500 steps left to do, my prep to do for tomorrow, and try to wind down before Nick gets home, and it's creamy time. I'm actually really excited for the wind down because I bought myself a present today because I was feeling sorry for myself, and because we booked a holiday for next year. We booked Disneyland Paris again. We went last year in February around our anniversary and Valentine's Day, and Nick made the mistake of saying we should do this every year, so I booked us the trip and we're going to do it every year. So I had to celebrate that by getting some form of Disney pajamas, and I also wanted a dressing gown because I don't have a dressing gown for here, and I find the mornings are starting to get a little bit colder, and the evenings, especially when I'm having my creamy, I'm getting really cold. So I'll show you this. I got a Minnie Mouse dressing gown. So I'm very excited to get these steps done and boxed off, get my prep done, have my shower and put that on. I'm toying with the idea of tanning as well. I did say during the week that I don't want to tan anymore or very little before my shows, because I was taking my tan off last week and I thought that that was the end for me in the shower. I was like, I have no more energy. I can't scrub any more of this body, and I had only started. So I had kind of been like, I think I'll just ease off on the tan. But you know, when you just know that putting on a layer of tan is going to make you feel so much better about yourself, it might have to be done. Next time you see me, I might be tanned, but that'll be in next week's vlog. Anyway, you're now up to speed on where I'm at, how I'm feeling. I actually do feel a lot better chatting through things, and I have really loved being able to get back into this and to get back into the editing. I hope you enjoyed the cameos from Arya. That is probably my favourite part of this vlog, and I keep going back to watch it. I'm definitely going to save that clip of Arya the Greyhound when I went home and I was talking you through my oaths, giving you an insight into the reality of things, what you might have to deal with if you are going to prep in the future. And I will continue to be more and more transparent, because as much as it might be uncomfortable for some people to hear or for me to talk about initially, as I said, I wish that there had been somebody who had shared this experience so that I would know that I'm not alone, because it is hard. And I've also given you an insight into plans for next year, which is live life. I'm very excited. I'm not wishing my prep away. Still have the most amazing experiences lined up. I cannot wait to be experiencing show days again. I'm so excited. But I am also very much excited for a life season next year, and for a few more trips, a few more experiences, a bit more flexibility and freedom when it comes to food, and seeing how I can navigate and manage that and still progress to hopefully come back to prepping in the future. So yes, I am so happy to be back. I am hoping that the couple of you who have decided to click back on my channel and my videos have enjoyed it and are looking forward to following along as we get into the last couple of weeks before show day, peak week, collecting my bikini. Crazy, absolutely insane. So thank you guys so much for watching. If there is anything that you would like me to touch on in the future as we get closer, any questions I can answer or any thoughts at all, please do drop me a comment or a DM on Instagram, and do subscribe because I will be back. I am back and I'm not going anywhere now unless this camera decides to flip out on me again. Thank you for watching and I will see you in the next video.